seen the best of them, Jando. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say, they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape. Up and down the interstate, yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I'll take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for Watkins that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Left, 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 left.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Z. Slow. Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Hunt.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Ready, green 90, green 90. Slow. Ace.
Now this time Mahomes will throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Jarring it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. The extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go. 3.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Z. Slow. Z. Ace. Hold on.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's able to find Wallace, and he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll drop the throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. He's picked off at his own 46. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a 1st down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win. And his kick is indeed good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point, or in this case, a field goal.
So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This one taken from the 7th. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
Mahomes now on 1st down. He's going to go deep for Conley. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Black 58.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Amari Cooper, 27 yards. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
Yeah, it seems like they've been running uphill all game.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
So. Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Mahomes to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
So. Left.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And now here come the Raiders. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30, the 20, and all all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great effort there. 81 yards. And the Raiders add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Ready, blue 45, blue 45.
Mahomes now on first down. Forced out to his left. On target over the middle to Hill. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for KC, and even 40 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City, as his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. We're back now in KC. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Now a handoff looking right. And a solid run down inside the 30. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And the Raiders have got him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. He sets to fire deep. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. 1st down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Now they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And his kick here is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. And he lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run again with Hunt. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Hunt. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team,